This is a story that's true. This is a story that God is using, but it's a story that most people don't want to hear. It was a day like virtually any other in San Diego. I started heading to the bathroom, put the shaving cream on, shave before I shower. And as I look over my shoulder to see what's going on, I realize I'm staring down the barrel of an assault rifle. They interrogated me, questioned me for 4.5 hours or so, and during that time, they ended up arresting me. And I remember when I took my ring off, I wondered if I'd ever put it back on.
Earlier that morning, I had prayed for Peter that he would be, it wasn't my words, I was following a prayer calendar, but it was to pray that my husband would be quick to agree with God in his sin and to be humble. And little did I know what was going to happen just a few hours later after I'd said that prayer.
I was about 7 years old, and that was my first exposure to pornography. And, I remember just instantly being kind of amazed or hooked and wanting to see more. And then as I got to be college age was when the internet explosion happened and developed, discovered free online pornography and discovered online chatting and became hooked on that as well. And really developed kind of an addiction for that. I don't know if kind of or it was an addiction. So Becky and I got married in '98. After 10 years of what I call a superficial marriage, I gave up. And at that point started stepping out of marriage and having affairs. And the online chatting became even more pervasive. Some of the women I chatted with were underage. And in that, when Homeland Security came and arrested me, the charge was that I had sexually explicit images of minors. Right before they drove away, she yelled out, "I love you," and I'll never forget that.
No little girl dreams about growing up and being married to a registered sex offender. So when Peter came home and told me the whole story, I, of course, struggled with many issues, but through a process of growing closer to the Lord, I was able to take so many of those things to God and walk into what God had called me to do, and that was to love Peter and to show grace and mercy. And so when you look at the whole big picture of what we're going through, it's very weighty, and you can easily feel like you're suffocating and drowning. There's been times where I feel like I have a weight around my neck, and if I just could cut it off, it'd be much easier just to cut it off, meaning just cut Peter off and I wouldn't have to deal with it anymore. Knowing that I didn't want to do that, I'd be seeking comfort over what God had called me to do and what He's called me to walk into. So as a sign of our new life together, we decided to renew our vows. Although I've grown up in the church and gone to Christian schools my entire life, I have never known God like I do now through this circumstance. God used an amazing discipleship school to draw me close to Him. I was able to learn how to spend time with the Lord. The songs that I sing, I live now. The verses that I read, I live, and I walk daily with the Lord in a way that I have never done before.
I am Peter.
I am Becky,
and
we are world changers.